What is happening, Mile High as Hell Fantasy Football League? It is I, the MFC, and after the longest slump in the history of slumps, notwithstanding the fact that I've never won this league personally, I finally got High Score of the Week and get the opportunity to do a video at 10:18 January 1st, 2023. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you're having a great year so far and continue having an amazing 2023 from this day until December 31st, 2023. It's been so long. I don't even have editing software anymore. I don't make videos anymore. I just kind of faded out of it because I don't have time. That to be the prime example here being I am doing this basically 40 minutes before football starts because this is the time that I have to do it. But you're the best league in the world. I want to bring you a video. So let's get two elephants out of the room. Two. Two big, old, gross elephants. Two dung filled, disgusting, stinky elephants in this room. Let's get them out of here. One. Here's our bracket. Here's Kelvin Sun God Squad, aka Perwin. And here's Field of Dreams, aka Mitch or the Rook. Um, you know, you love to hate him. Perwin's in there again, right? That's big elephant, stinky, gross elephant number one. How'd you make it in? How did the chips fall so that you ended up here at 7-7? Um, One, terrible performances by people like Wuhan Wan and the Queef Queen. Token Minority squeaking out at 6-8 when he might have been able to make it in. Um, it you call it statistics, you call it good play or good coaching or whatever. Statistically, man, you probably shouldn't be there. So I don't know what we're doing to keep letting this happen. But listen here, Mile High. Next year, I might have to put a financial bounty on making sure that Perwin not only doesn't get to the championship, but doesn't make the playoffs. Listen, Perwin, I love you, but it's time for a new belt owner. And we could have one. We could have one. You still get to win a couple dollars, which is good, but we could have a brand new belt owner. And that belt owner doesn't live here, didn't come to the draft, and didn't draft his own team. And that is Field of Dreams, aka the Rook, aka Mitch. He couldn't make it because he was going to a wedding, and the rest of us that were able to meet up and have the in-person draft, of which this was probably the fewest people at an in-person draft, because we did have three remote, well, two remote, and then Mitch. We drafted your team, Mitch. You're in the championship because this league is so good. It drafted a championship team, not for itself, but for you. Think about that. If you win, should we just etch all of our names into that belt? That aside, you did play. You did come to play. You picked up players. You substituted when needed. Justin Fields is crazy, right? A.J. Brown is on the Philadelphia Eagles, who are just rolling through the league. The Vikings look like a Super Bowl team that's going to make us have the most exciting Super Bowl because they will be behind by 67 points and then rumble back with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And Dalvin Cook's a part of that team, and you have him as well. So, without further ado, let's get into this week's predictions, starting with all the way at the bottom. Then we'll come up to the top. The only two that matter to me are the top and the bottom, but we'll do them all just to say. Right down here, we have Token Minority, Jose versus Billy Cundiff. Crazy. These two are famous for losing. and having good teams or being good coaches, right? They participate, they pick up people that score points, they're able to substitute people out weekly if needed, defenses stream in quarterbacks. They deal with injuries well. Sometimes injuries are huge, abundant. Like we'll get to Queef Queen here in a second. But uh, you two are famous for losing big games, and this is a big game. But one of you is more famous for losing big games, and that's Billy Cundiff. Crazy. Regardless who you have on your team or how it's predicted to come out, you lose this game. Maybe you lose it by point 0.1. Maybe you lose it by 50 because somebody just doesn't show up. But you're destined for that golden douche this year. Sorry, man. Your team doesn't win big games. It just doesn't. It never has. And for that, I give you the golden douche. Everybody, your golden douche. Billy Cundiff. Then we have Wu Hanwan versus the Queef Queen. These two should have been in the bottom, and that's how you know that Token Minority and Billy Cundiff lose big games, is because Queef Queen is 1-13. She won one game this whole year. How frustrating is that? To be in one of the most competitive leagues out of all the leagues that you're probably in and winning once. You should be the douche, but because you got the luck of playing these atomic bomb players that can't win big games, you are going for ninth and 10th against John. John didn't even pick a ton of Broncos this year. His team had the juice, just couldn't get it done. He also swung for the fences a lot. I saw him put in players that could have had great games and just didn't. Amber, I just think after so many injuries and players just not performing and nobody being available on the waiver wire, and it's tough. But this one, because 1-13, and I know you won, your second game in the playoffs against Crazy, which is funny. Here it is right here. 109-104. Crazy loses big games. 121-94. Jose loses big games. Yeah, but because of that, Amber, I'm sorry. You just haven't won hardly at all this year. And as people say, statistically, you're probably not going to win this one either. So, in 10th place, we have the Queef Queen. Congratulations, Amber. Terrible season. Sorry. You probably raised a good child because you had so much time, like, not watching football. Or you were watching actual football, like enjoying the time because you didn't care about your fantasy team because it was a bad one. Yeah. So, Queef Queen, you lose this one. Wuhan wins it. Notice I'm saying who loses instead of who wins because that's what's really going to be the crap part of this, is anybody who loses this round. Here's the ones that absolutely don't matter. I'm involved in this, so let's just get it over with. Ryan, I not sent his lineup. We can even look. Is he playing? Lamar Jackson's in, folks. As of 10:30, Lamar Jackson is in. So, Ryan, you lose. If you're not going to play, you're going to lose, right? So, Novid Kid, congratulations on eating shit right here, letting Kelvin Sun God Squad go in, then coming down here, not playing against me, and then not playing against Sleevers, and just letting us walk to the next round. Novid Kid loses, Wizard Sleever wins. Me versus the big Snoop Dogg. I mean, everybody votes against me all season long. Everybody says I'm going to lose. I constantly make the playoffs. I constantly lose in the playoffs. But I didn't get there by losing. And all you high score of the week predictors always say I'm going to lose. And one of the big high score of the week guys that said I was going to lose was big Snoop Dogg. Will, you're going to lose. I'm going to win. It's easy as that. Duke versus Roll Tide. It's probably the best game out of all of them because here's your 1-3. Like, 2 is down here, Nova Kid. If he would have made it to the championship, he would have played Lamar Jackson, I guess, and lost the championship. So this is going to be the best game of this. We'll dip into the lineup real quick. Oh yeah, put in some Brock Purdy. Give me some Purdy. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, that's going to be pretty even. Pollard's been kind of trending down. I'm not even sure if he's in at the moment. No, he's out. So, once again, guys, if you don't want to play, you don't want to play. Um, oh, that already happened. Duh. But he was out. You did have the opportunity to sub him out because they announced that before the games, David. You have won a championship, so you should know that. Because of that, that's Tide Turner right there. So roll Tide Turner. You know what I'm saying? Roll Tide Turner. David loses, and Cow wins. Um, you still get skins and stuff. You know, we could get rid of the skins. That's fine. If you're not going to pay attention all these 3 weeks, there's no reason to just give money to the same people. I mean, I got money right here. And the big one, Kelvin Sun God Squad versus the Field of Dreams. Um, I'm not saying that Kelvin Sun God Squad is going to lose because I want them to lose. I am saying they're going to lose because Field of Dreams is putting up consistent points, and you are not. Like, you're up, you're down, you're left, you're right. This week, we can look at the matchup. We've already got Dalton Schultz for 24 points on Field of Dreams. Um, Justin Fields versus Detroit. That's going to be a divisional rivalry slash matchup. Justin Fields has been running like crazy. Rivalry Midwest matchup. Dalvin Cook's probably going to be running like crazy. Christian McCaffrey is a machine. Saquon Barkley has been great this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown is automatic. So it's going to be close. It's really going to depend on the matchups and what goes on, especially this one divisionally, right? Um, and then the Eagles versus New Orleans is just like a slam dunk. That probably is a slam dunk, although the Giants have been weird. So yeah, gonna be a close one, but I'm gonna say just because we even see it right here, that's your it factor. Um, if he ends up winning by 5, it's Dalton Schultz's fault. If he ends up winning by 24, it's Dalton Schultz's fault. If he ends up winning by 0.6, it's Dalton Schultz's fault. I'm saying your new champion this year. We picked it as an entire league. We picked Mitch's team. He played it. He coached it. He substituted when necessary. He streamed when necessary. So he did do the best with what we gave him. But Field of Dreams is the new champion. And we should all feel great in our hearts about that because we know as a league, collectively, we can come together and pick a championship team. Um, yeah, not quite auto draft, but definitely as close to auto draft as possible. Think about that. That's happened twice. Auto drafted teams tend to win, and I don't know why. That's happened in Andy's league for sure. I think it's happened in Crazy's league for sure. So, auto draft. I will say I look forward to seeing everybody in person with no auto drafts next year. Um, we'll get back to the root of this league, which is getting drunk at a draft and making terrible picks, except for when we make great picks for Mitch. Congratulations, Mitch, on winning today, and hard fought Kelvin Sun God squad from zero to hero, coming all the way from shouldn't be in the playoffs to I'm in the championship. good for you, sir. Kyle, congratulations on third place. I'm not sure why David didn't want to play for third, considering you get your money back. And last thing I'll say before we go is that if Mitch wins, boop, who is tied to Mitch? Wizard Sleevers. So, Andy, if Mitch wins, um, you don't have to pay for your league fees next year. We all chip in $10 and do it for you. If Perwin wins, or let's see, where's Perwin? Ah, there it is. David, of course. If Perwin wins, you don't have to pay league fees next year. Congratulations on all that. So, uh, David and or Andy, it looks like you will be benefiting from whoever wins this. So you should be interested in who wins this matchup. Andy's going to win his. Yeah. So Billy Cundiff loses, Queen loses, Nova Kid loses, Big Snoop Dogg loses, Doot loses, and Kelvin Sun God Squad loses, making your Field of Dreams champion. I don't know how I'm going to get you the belt or the money. You live way the fuck out in Wisconsin. How inconvenient can this be for me? So if I do have to do that, you can guarantee I'm going to make it very inconvenient for you to get that money out of whatever it comes in. Promise you that. Mile High as Hell, now 2023, but celebrating the end of the 2022 season. Y'all have a great one. Bad luck to you all. I hope you all lose and somehow I get the money and the belt. Statistically, it's possible. Perwin's in the championship again. Lightning can always strike the same place a million times. Love you all. Have a good year.